yesterday by Sikam Lositor, harboring ill feeling and taking revenge. Yeah. We left off Ayin Gimel. Misil Sishorim, page 73. One's inclination, the Yetzer goes and causes a person to be, he says, inflames. Inflames the person. And the Yetzer Hara wants to leave minimally some trace or some memory of what happened, of the previous event. You ask the man to do you a favor, he turns you down. And you feel denied, because he should have, for whatever reason. Even if the Yetzer Hara is not able, that the memory, the impression should be to a greater degree, to a lesser degree. Yomer derech Moshe Odom. This is what the Yetzer Hara whispers in one's ear. If this person wants something from you which he wouldn't do for you when you asked him, when you were in need, but minimally, you should give it to him. Normally, when you give someone, you give it with a positive feeling, with a happy countenance. Show him that you're giving it begrudgingly to him. You don't give it with the same facial feature of joy. And if you don't want to turn him down, to deny him, do a lesser favor rather than a greater favor. Let's say you see you Godel. He needs, normally you would have given him more money, you can give him less money. Normally you would have given to him in the most welcome way, you're not giving to him, you're not welcoming him. You feel burdened. And even if you want to help him to a greater degree, do it in a way that he's not aware that you're helping him. Not because it's Matan B'Seiser, not because you're a tzaddik. The friendship will never be the same, because the person doesn't want. That's an indication he's harboring. If you forgave him, you should not appear that you're his enemy. Daibozeh. This is what the Yetzer Hara whispers in the person's ear. Show him that you're not happy with him because of the past, that he didn't treat you as you should have been treated. This is all revenge. It's Nekima and Netira. Harboring ill feeling, and when it manifests itself in an action where it's displayed, that's Nekima. The Chofetz Chaim in Torah's Chesed speaks about this, about lending less money where you normally would have lent more money. Happy countenance, and you give it with that you feel, you show the man that you feel you put upon. And even if you want to have a relationship, association with him, don't show and display a great degree of love as normally you would have. He says, all such as expressions of diligence part of the evil inclination. He attempts to seduce the hearts, the feelings of a person. Therefore, the Torah puts down a principle. Love your fellow as you love yourself. Factually, if you forgave him, and if he did nothing wrong, he's not considered a Rosha, you must love your fellow as you love yourself. Belishum hefresh. There should be no difference in yourself and him. Kamocha beli chidukim. Beli tagbulus and mezimos. Without any ruse or devices. Literally, kamocha mamosh. That's the degree of ava feeling you should have towards him. Not simple. Let's say you had a friend, he betrayed you. A true betrayal. He came and he asked forgiveness. He truly, and you forgive him, and you do forgive him. It'll take years for that relationship to be mended, because the man has to prove himself endless times over, and you don't have that positive feeling towards him. Even though he's proven it. He's proven it, he hasn't proven it enough. It's not so simple. It may be considered lucitor. You're harboring ill feeling, which there is no reason to harbor it any longer, because he has proven himself sufficient. Well, I wanted to prove it to a greater degree, just because that's what you want, but still, v'ahavta l'orecha kamocha. No, if he did the wrong thing, until he has forgiveness, you don't have to forgive him. We're talking about it here. You asked him to do you a favor. He's not a tzaddik, but he's not a rasha, right? The Chofetz Chaim speaks about this. Even if a person violates the mitzvah, it says in kesef talve almi, you're supposed to lend your fellow money, and you're able to. He turns to you that he doesn't want to lend you. He did the wrong thing, but he's not a rasha. He's not a rasha, and if he's not a rasha, you have no right to hate him, right? Are you happy with him? You're not happy. Now he comes when he's in need and he asks you for a loan. Do you lend him the money? And he's good for the money. It's not a question you're putting yourself in putting yourself in jeopardy. Give you collateral, everything else. You'll have every reason not to lend him the money, or to put him off, and let him understand it's not so simple. If somebody once asked me a question, child goes to school, with chinuch, and your child's giving, and other kids aren't as giving as your child. So you say to your child, you behave the way the others. They don't do for you, you don't do for them. Right? How often does a parent say to the child, just to teach him how to deal with his peers in school, or many things. You can't allow yourself to be abused, and therefore you have to say no very often. Even though you could, don't say yes. And they don't do, so why should you do? But it's a wrong chinuch. You have to be it's a very delicate balance, right? How you should educate a child, what's right and what's wrong. Now you get your pound of flesh, right? That you don't. Of course, that's no question. That's revenge. But you see, revenge is much more. It's much more delicate than that. Turning a person down, not doing a favor because he didn't do you a favor, that's revenge. It's not avenging. It's not avenging. This is called revenge. Somebody told me a story many years ago. It was in Israel. A certain person was dishonest person. And years ago in Israel, I don't know about today, anything that was for export, the government would give the exporter a certain amount of money, percentage of the value of what he exported, to encourage export from Israel. And this person, he falsified the books. He never exported, and he was collecting money from the government. That's the type of person he was, but he was a person who was really dishonest. He'd borrow money for he wouldn't pay, different things. His business practices were disgraceful, and eventually he was arrested. And this person had borrowed money from Reb Shlomo Zalman Auerbach and Reb Shlomo Shvadron. And he never paid back the loan that he borrowed from him. The money he borrowed from Shlomo Zalman Auerbach and Reb Shvadron was his brother-in-law. Shlomo Shvadron and Shlomo Zalman, they were brothers-in-law. And, this person who's related to me had a kollel he funded a kollel in Israel then. This is in the early 70s. And Reb Shlomo Shvadron's son was the Rosh Kollel. This other person funded the kollel. And he heard that after the man was arrested, he had sent a message to Reb Shlomo Zalman, and they should put up the bail money for him to get out. Here. He borrowed, he was arrested because he was dishonest. He borrowed money, he never paid the loan to Reb Shlomo Zalman or Reb Shlomo Shvadron, two tzaddikim. And now that he's arrested, he's asking them to put up the bail money to get him out of jail. When this person heard about it, he's an American person. He was infuriated. The man has such a chutzpah. After his behavior, and he even victimized these tzaddikim. He should go to them. They should put up the bail money to get him out of jail. So he went to them and says, you can't do it. He had a relation. He says, you can't do it. The man deserves to sit behind bars. So he says to me, what do you think they did?
Put up the money.
They put up the money. That was their cheshbon, whatever it was. You could say he's a rasha, he's this, there's no mitzvah v'ahavta l'orecha kamocha. For whatever reason, they put up the bail money Look, if he would have come out and victimized others, I mean, so it's a menace to society. You keep them in behind bars. It's evidently based on their evaluation, he wasn't a menace to society, but they put up the money. So I'm just showing you. I mean, after being hurt and victimized such a degree, how could you even have any feeling or consideration of such a person? I'm sure showing you up there, it's a special level.
Right? Okay. Don't put any emotions into everything's just right. So ideal, right?
Is that something we're supposed to try to achieve? I mean, there are people that get arrested every day, and who sometimes, they've actually committed real crimes. Should we try to achieve the level where, regardless of what their crime was, where
No. You have to seek out das Torah. These people gedol themselves so they can make that decision themselves. You're not in a position to make this evaluation. Where you should put your money. The better places to put your money than put up bail for people in jail. People who don't have food on the table. What?
Is something we're supposed to try to achieve, but we just
Just giving this as an example that, in terms of emotionally, you should, because you were victimized, how could you even consider helping such a person? And they did. I'm just bringing that example. I'm not saying you should learn from that how you should, that you'll do the same. I'm not saying that.
So the person, the perpetrator, has not done tshuva.
I'm not getting details. I'm not sure what the details, why they did it. That's what he said. If he was still the bad person, so on and so forth, whatever it was, I don't know. But they felt, but despite whatever happened, still, they were victims. To go back, the chutzpah and everything else, and the money was still owed to them. So he said maybe they waived the money. They forgave the loan. Maybe. Right? You could forgive a loan.
Well, we learned from Maral before about Tzilam Elokim, so how does that figure into this? If the person does have Tzilam Elokim, is that
The person still, he has to behave like Re'echo. He has to behave like a proper Jew. If he doesn't behave like a proper Jew, there's no mitzvah v'afto recho kamocha.
But Tzilam Elokim is still there.
Doesn't make a difference. But the Torah dictates when yes and when not. The Torah is dictating that. Tell you, politicians have no problem. One day, the way they talk about one another, arch enemies beyond arch enemies. Next day, they're embracing one another. When he takes him at his running mate afterwards. What happened? I'm just showing you. This is the level of integrity these people have. And emotionally, I don't know where they're at. It's as if they have no emotion. I mean, after what you said about me, could I even look at you? And people, even business, you find people, certain businessmen. I mean, literally cutthroat. And yet, once it passes, the deal is over, onto a new thing, they're in the deal together. It's, you'd say, what's the level of integrity of these people? They have no integrity. It's the moment. Once the moment passes, as if the previous moment didn't exist. To be continued.
Well, that's understandable on another level. Politics, they say, make strange bedfellows.
Okay?
It's all about self-interest.
Ephraim, the Mark Subis again? The Mark Subis. Thank you. I understand. It's not a lie what a person says about you.